What's up? My name is Lauren, and today I am going to talk about my 2024 Railfanning and railroad adventures because we're already 2 weeks into the new year and I still haven't done that, so I probably should. 2024 was nuts. I did so much traveling in 2024. I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to do all that, but it was wild. It was nuts, and let's get into it. I have my handy dandy notebook because there was a lot that happened. I went to just a quick summary of the stats before we get into the deep dive. I went to 9 states besides my home state of Iowa: Florida, Illinois, Missouri, Colorado, Nebraska, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, and Wisconsin. Most of those were because I moved out to Nevada for 2.5 months this summer for an internship, which we'll discuss later on. I went to 7 countries besides the United States, so I left the US for the first time in my life, and we went on a cruise. That's how we were able to do so many countries. Check those cruise deals. I'm not really a boat person, but we got to see like 7 countries in 10 days. It was awesome. So we went to the UK, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Norway, Denmark, and Germany. Honorable mention Canada, because even though I didn't technically step foot outside of the airport in Canada, we spent 8 to 9 hours in the Toronto airport because our flight kept getting delayed. So that was a long time. I went to 12 railroads in total, different railroads and railroad museums, and I saw over 12 steam locomotives fired up, not just idle, like fired up. If I counted the ones I just saw sitting, that would be way more. And then 9 of them were new to me, like I had never seen before fired up. And then I also saw 1 tornado from the car, and I saw 2 rattlesnakes. Those are just some fun other stats in there. I don't like snakes. But the part you want to talk about, the train part, so let's get into it. So the first railroad we saw was the Walt Disney World Railroad. So in January we flew down to Florida to go to Disney World because not only am I obsessed with trains, I am also a slight Disney adult with an obsession for the Mouse House. So we saw 2 engines at Disney World. I can't remember exactly. So the second railroad I'm going to talk about was the Boone Scenic Valley Railroad. So that one is also in Iowa, not very far from where I live. We did that about 3 separate times this year. We did the Valentine's train, which the Valentine's train, this was our 2nd year doing it, and I love it so much. It's a little pricier, but it is a dinner train. So it's a dinner train. You go, sit down. It's about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. You go out to wherever the line, I think Fraser. You go out to Fraser, you're eating, you're having fun. It's a nice subtle train ride. They're playing jazz music. It's a great excuse to get dressed up. Super fun, love it. I think we're going to do it again this year in 2025. It's become our new tradition. And then we did ride the steam engine. So we finally saw the steam engine. It's been down for a very long time. The steam engine at Boone is one of the last steam engines ordered from China, brand new. So it came over to the US. It's a JS class, I believe. And so we went and saw that in September, fired up. That was pretty fun. And it's coal-fired. And it's really weird because the engineer and firemen are flip-flopped in the cab. It's really trippy. It would be odd to operate. Then we also rode their Christmas train, the Santa Express. We mainly did that because I made a lot of TikToks about Christmas trains, and a lot of like moms were reaching out to me on TikTok being like, oh, well, what about this one in Boone? So I went and tried it out for them. So yeah, fun times. And then next I went to Nevada for the not my first time. The first time I went to Nevada was for the Great Western Steam Up. I wish I had videos from that, like I was doing YouTube at that point, because that was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had in my life. But I went to Nevada to go visit the Nevada Northern Railway in Ely, Nevada, because I got one of their internships for the summer. I was the archives intern, so I got to go out to Nevada and visit. I went during their photo shoot weekend and got stuck during a blizzard. It was a fun time, but that was super cool. They only had 1 steam engine fired up during that time. That was the first time I saw 93. And then didn't do much in, we did take Amtrak. So we went to We did like a little, we call it the breakfast train. We literally drove over to Galesburg, some of our Midwest Central volunteers, and then we took Amtrak from Galesburg to Kewaunee, which is literally like a 30-minute ride. And then we ate breakfast and got back on Amtrak. That was fun. That is the longest Amtrak trip I've done. So I definitely need to branch out more on Amtrak. And then in May was the busiest travel month. May was jam-packed. So the first weekend of May, we went out to Durango and Silverton. We were lucky enough to be invited out for the presidential train. That was my very first time riding Durango and Silverton. It was my first time seeing all of it. It was amazing. And I do have a vlog on our trip to Durango and Silverton, so definitely go check it out in my channel. That was so much fun. Saw 2 steam engines fired up during that trip. I believe we were pulled by 476 on our train, and then we also saw 493. Very fun trip. Enjoyed that. If you haven't gone out to Durango, definitely highly recommend. Look, I even have a Durango shirt on, not on purpose. It's just the first thing I grabbed out of my closet. So then after Durango, I did not talk about this on my YouTube channel yet, but my husband and I bought a Plymouth locomotive. Yes, you heard that right. We got a locomotive. So just a couple days after we got back from Durango, our locomotive, or I should say locomotive kit, was delivered to Mount Pleasant. It's currently sitting on a spare track here at Midwest Central. So we bought a narrow gauge Plymouth HL, and our plan is to restore it into the Bellevue and Cascade aux. So the Bellevue and Cascade was one of the last narrow gauge railroads in Iowa to run, and the last engine they ran was the aux, this little Plymouth HL. So we are turning it into that because we love preserving history. And then just a couple days later, I went and saw the Empress, so CPKC 2816 at Davenport. So it was here for its final spike tour, so I got to see that, which was really cool. I'm really sad I didn't get to see it like run. I wish I could have seen it run, but I couldn't see it like on the line because the next day we left for Europe. In Europe, we did do a couple different railroads. So first we took the Southwestern Railway from London to Southampton to get to the port. So that was fun. I love in Europe the flexibility they have with commuter trains. It is amazing, and I really wish the US would pick up the pace with trains because we're severely lacking. And then on our cruise, we went on 2 different steam railways. So we had the awesome opportunity. There was 2 excursions. One was in Denmark, near Aarhus, Denmark. I'm going to butcher this, and I'm so very sorry. It's Veteranbanen Byrup Broads. Super cute steam locomotive. They have some interesting shapes to their steam. Like, European steam is vastly different from American steam, but I still love it. It's cute. Their whistles, just cute little single chimes. And then we did the Molybahn, which is in Germany, and it goes between some of the coastal towns. What's wild to me is, so I believe the locomotive we were on was built brand new in 2009, because this steam railroad is like a normal commuter. So like, even though they have a lot of tourists who come in and ride it, there are Germans just taking it between the towns as their mode of transportation. Can you imagine being pulled by a steam locomotive for your normal mode of commuting? That's wild. I want that. And then while we were in Germany, we did ride the Deutschbahn. So that's their big commuter service. We took it from Warmünde to Rostock. We got back from Europe. I was literally home for 8 hours. I think I slept 6, and then I packed, and then my brother picked me up because we both went out to Nevada for the summer. That was amazing. All summer, basically just being around a railroad was a dream come true. I got to work in the archives, so I was working a lot with the railroad's documents. I did a lot with records from the railroad, so I was working on cataloging them. Also, all the train rides. I think this summer I probably went on over 100 train rides. I'm not sure, between working and fun, because like when I wasn't working I could ride the train, so I would do that for fun because it was relaxing. And during the summer, Union Pacific Big Boy went out on its westward tour, so I went and chased it for a whole 12 hours. We chased it, my friend Will and I chased it from Winnemucca to Elko, Nevada. That was amazing. It was a very long day. It was very hot that day. I got dehydrated. Do not recommend. Make sure you're drinking fluids when you're rail fanning. But I got some really cool shots. Super fun. And then it had a stop in Elko, so we got to get all up close to it and see it. I know historically, like on my TikToks, I've bashed the Big Boy. And yes, I like it. Like I will go see it because it's cool to see steam on the main line. It's just aesthetically not my favorite. They're prettier engines. Also, I'm more of a Baldwin fan than an Alco fan, but that's besides the point. On the way home, my brother and I stopped at the Georgetown Loop. I had never gone to the Georgetown Loop, neither had my brother, so we got to do that. I think our engine was 111 that day, so we were pulled by 111. We got a ride in the cab. That was super fun. It's a short ride, but it's a very pretty ride through the mountains. And then of course, you know, Midwest Central, my home railroad. This gal behind me, 6, she celebrated her 133rd birthday this year, which is nuts. She's old. We gave her cake. I think she liked it. I'm not sure. We threw some in the firebox. She's been working okay this year. And then also stopped at Mid-Continent in the fall. We did not ride Mid-Continent this year. We've ridden Mid-Continent before, but I'm hoping, so within the next year or two, they are going to have a CNW engine running, steam engine, so definitely we'll have to make the trek back up to North Freedom to go see that. And I think that was all the railroads. I saw a lot. I know I didn't go super in depth, but just wanted to do a quick recap and need to start planning what I'm going to do in 2025. There's no solid plans yet, just loose plans. So look out for what my plans are for rail fanning video in 2025 as I figure that out. Thank you for sticking along. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, like, do all the things, and I will see you next time.